What a wonderful first hour we have had. This now is the second hour of the Lionsgate 8/8 2025. And world peace is our intention through our own inner peace. I'm Dr. Amba Dryg-Tobin, Doctor of Medical Qigong Therapy and host of retreats. We have somebody in Iowa today, Naomi Sunshine, who is actually just setting up her space in Fairfield, Iowa, that will be such a magical healing center and space, which hopefully I'm going to collaborate with her to do some retreats as well. And many of you know I do retreats that are hybrid most of the time. So speakers speak from somewhere else and in person as we do Qigong and yoga and healing work. And this is what this whole event is about healing ourselves into a space of such self-love and inner peace. At the core, when we do medical Qigong therapy, self-love is what heals disease. When we have inner peace, self-love are pretty connected. We say in Chinese medicine that qi is married to the blood. So as energy moves, chi or prana energy and blood are connected. They're married. And I believe self-love and inner peace are married and they're connected. So all this beautiful modalities and healing practices, they are helping us bring world peace because we are also all connected. You are me, I am you, they are us, we are them. It has a ripple effect. And this meditation that I'm going to guide us through, and there are handouts. If you didn't get them, they should have been uh, emailed, I believe. If not, I will send them to you. They're PDFs with an outline for what I taught earlier. And this meditation, which is about transmuting the energy when we feel helpless. Say things are happening in the world like wars or injustices of any kind. And this is a sort of high powered prayer. And it is as fast as a minute or it is 20 minutes. It's up to you anytime you want to revisit it. So I invite you all to wiggle your toes and fingers. If you didn't get a chance to move, or talking about the brain earlier with the brain spotting with Megan, go ahead and inhale your arms up if you are able. And exhale, just twist your body and let the arms fall. And then do some brain spotting. Look to the side. That is actually, we say what you look at is the drishti in yoga. So what you focus on there, and then bring your head back, look forward, and bring your shoulders back. Inhale, arms up, and look to the side. Twist from the lower back first, and then the spine up. Let the arms come down as you exhale. And look over your shoulder if you're able to a drishti brain spot to a spot. I'm looking at a plant leaf. And then bring your face back to the forward and then your shoulders back. Now we crossed hemispheres. I talk about that a lot. If you cross your midlines, the left and right, front and back, top and bottom, maybe you can lean forward and touch your toes. Every time we cross that midline, we cross the left and right hemisphere of our brain, the brain bridge. So that's really good for us to absorb more information. Also, lots of synapses going off to help the brain. Um, so much to tell, but I'm honing it in on this meditation now. So go ahead and close your eyes. We always ask for a blessing from our higher power, however you call that. Jesus is my main man, and Amitabha Guanyin, Shiva Kali Krishna, Amitabha, Guanyin, Manjushri, Maitreya, all sacred names that you feel sacred to you. Ask for a blessing. Jesus, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, Mary, Lingbao, Lao Tzu, the Jade Emperor, however you call your higher power, asking for a blessing for this practice for you personally. And just relax your face, jaw, and shoulders. Imagine and know that you're safe in this sacred space. And we have, in Chinese medicine, we say a physical body, an energy body, and a spirit body. And all three of these are connected and affect the other two. Jing, Qi, and Shen, we say. So I want you to imagine and feel that you are rooted, sitting in your chair or standing maybe, and or laying down. And you imagine your physical body is rooted there, and your energy body and spirit body are lifting up out of your physical body, and they're joining together above you, and they're flying into the clouds above you and across the planet to the Himalaya Mountains. And as your energy and spirit body join together and are really flying over the planet, the Himalaya Mountains, and you see on the top of the mountains there a beautiful lake and a bunch of wild ferns and a sacred building, a temple or a church. And you come and you lie yourself down gently, right? So you're standing in front of this building and you see a male and a female angel or deity or sacred being of light on either side of the door. And you come inside that door of this sacred building and bow to them as you go in. And as you're inside, you see this beautiful golden orb. And here, our intention is to donate spirit money or energy money, sort of a high powered prayer from our heart. We imagine as we stand in front of this giant golden orb of energy, sort of a red cross that we're donating to, but it is a spirit energy or angel energy bank that angels can draw from and beings of light can draw the energy from. And as we stand there, from our heart, a golden light comes, which is a high powered prayer, well wishes for all beings to have peace. This prayer for this golden light coming from our heart, a stream of light going in as we donate our love and well wishes and high powered prayer into this golden orb. And this light is flowing from our heart into this golden orb that we're sending energy. And anytime you can do this for prayers for others or well wishes for others, especially when you feel that you might feel a little helpless in your life that you can't do something to help. Well, right now you are helping. Right now you are sending your love and your well wishes for those to have comfort, for those people on the planet to have energy and courage and maybe a second thought, a peaceful thought if they have maybe guns in their hands that they're putting the guns down, or maybe they have fear and we're praying for them to have comfort, or maybe they are in political power and this gold light is going into this orb and the angels and beings of light are taking this energy to go and give ideas of how things could be done peacefully instead of with war or violence or any harm. We say ahimsa in Sanskrit is non-harm. So just imagine that gold light filling any natural disasters as well. The gold light fills that orb that beings of light can take this energy and help people who are needing comfort or any kind of support towards world peace, towards joy, towards love. And we just feel that energy filling the golden orb. This can also be for things in our own lives that we would like support, or people in the world that might be going through similar things. The gold light just comes from our heart and goes into this golden orb, which is in a eight. It is in a figure eight because that gold energy comes through us too. You can imagine a gold figure eight going around us and into the orb, that we're also getting that love and energy and we're giving it as well. And I like to imagine on the other side of that golden orb, there are beings of light and angels that are coming and taking that energy and going out and spreading the love and giving the comfort and helping people have ideas of peace and concepts that will help bring world peace. And when you feel complete, you bow towards the light and the divine beings, and you turn and exit the door and bow at the angels at the door or beings of light on either side of the door. And you walk out onto the mountains, look around at the beautiful mountains, the beautiful lake on the top of the mountains. And then you fly up into the air, through the clouds, and back into your physical body. Your energy body, spirit body, physical body joined again, all together. Wiggle your toes and fingers and know that you have done a very high powered prayer. You have transmuted your own energy of maybe feeling helpless in certain situations on the planet. You have done something wonderful, giving your love and light, donating your spirit money, your energy money to the sort of, we say in America, Red Cross, to donate things to help people. This is a spiritual energy, a spiritual journey of helping others, and also energetic energy, emotional energy. So wiggle your toes and fingers, smile, and know that you can do this anytime. And it can be very short or fast, um, or really long. Do as long as you like. And I'm going to break now.
Hi, I'm Odelia, and I'm an author and the founder of the Legacy Writing Guide. And I'm helping mostly women, but the last few weeks also men to capture their story for lasting legacy. And for me, this is all about light and love. So, and connection, of course. Uh, I really believe that reflecting, I know, and some a lot of stuff of how do you say that? I forgot. I speak French. Sorry, I'm French. So a lot of research show that help writing, mostly pen on paper, activates the right side of the brain, and it does a lot of good thing for our mental health and our body, right? And so the reflecting on your story, sharing your story, and celebrating your story when you are still alive, it's really, really good for a lot of things in your body. Um, any question, Dr. Amba? Do you have any specific question? I more likely prefer the
Oh,
conversation.
yes, sure. Well,
I
yes,
don't.
I remember that now because we did
Okay.
that last time.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, the writing your own story, why is it important to share your own story?
For the connection, because as human being we are all seeking the connection and the sense of belonging, which I find when I wrote my story. And so I'm an expert. My expertise is in memoir writing. I'm a certified guided autobiography instructor, and writing, reflecting on your story, give you that opportunity to look back and have more perspective, and also as amazing opportunity on processing your feeling, which on in the moment of the event we don't really have all the time that opportunity to process. We need to keep going or even survive. So we don't have that moment where we can reflect and process. And so going back to reflect is really a good thing for us. It's a I think the most amazing gift for self love.
Oh, yes, I totally agree. And one thing I remember that you had expressed was, really finding your own inner peace when you were doing also some, I think it was, I don't know if you expressed it in your book on your story about your birth mother and your real mother, if you wrote about that in the forgiveness process. And I think that is a
Yeah,
huge part for
yeah.
world peace, is our own inner peace, is working with forgiveness.
Yeah, because when I wrote my story, I had to put all the character and the setting, and so it gave me that opportunity to have that dialogue, that relationship uh, in my book, in my story with my birth mom and my mom. And what I learned is forgiveness. And it took me so many years to understand that forgiveness need to start by self-forgiveness. And to do so, we need to go through letting go of judgment. And letting go of judgment is something I learned when I was writing my book. Because again, when you put all, you cannot write your story, your book, a manuscript, even if you don't want to publish it, but for yourself first, putting the setting as a character, and you cannot just, not go through that phase of letting go of judgment, which bring us to self forgiveness, which bring us to self love and self respect. So it's really a long process. Um, but I do believe that sharing the story is really crucial for us as human beings, to the connection. I call that building little bridges. We build connection with our story. We relate to each other, and we really, yeah, stories are amazing.
Uh, so when you're saying connection to yourself or connection to others?
First of all, to yourself. Yes, absolutely. It's all start with ourselves. It's all start the self love and yeah, yeah, connection for you to yourself. When I start writing my book, I was looking for a sense of belonging. Being adopted, my birth mom, she decided when I was 5 days old to put just to leave the hospital without me back in France in 74. And she decided she couldn't take care of me. And so and my parent who adopted me, who I really love, they uh they kept that as a secret, and they spent a lot of energy to lie and to keep it a secret. And let me tell you, when I started writing my book, I was mad. I was upset. I was really mad. But that process of writing, it's again take me that amazing opportunity to look at all the character in my story and have more perspective. But it's all start with us, because the people we are living with, and marriage and friendship and business and everything is a reflection of what's going on in here. It's
100%.
all start here inside, everything.
100%. Totally agree. You said you were mad when you started writing the book. Did
Oh
How old were
yes,
you when you found out that you were adopted?
I was a teenager.
And you didn't ever process it that much until you were writing the book, or did you?
I didn't,
No.
I couldn't, because I find myself like, okay, so my birth mom doesn't want me, and my parents are ashamed of me, which was not true for them, right? It was another story for them, which is okay, which I had an opportunity to explore when I wrote my story. But
Nice.
yeah, because you don't do a manuscript about your book, or a story about your life with just some, like you are going to the grocery store, milk. You have to develop the story, and to do so, you need to develop what's going on in the character, why my mom did that, and which I asked her a lot of questions, which was amazing. And yeah, I was really mad because I couldn't process when I was a teenager. When you are going to the doctor, I was always sick as and it's connected to what you said. Your body and the spirit, everything is connected. And when I was a little, I was always sick, always. And one day, my dad took me to the doctor, and when the doctor asked about my infancy and what happened with me, my dad said, she's adopted, we don't know.
Wow.
Hello. So for me, it was the first time. For my parent, it wasn't, right?
Yeah.
For my parents, it was like, no, no way. We already told you a long time ago. And I'm like, okay. So again, that opportunity to write about that, it was that opportunity to have that discussion with them. I couldn't have back there because I was a
Yeah.
teenager and I run away to find my sense of belonging, which everything is on my book. And I find my sense of belonging not long time ago when I published my book. So yeah.
Nice. And you work with clients to do that themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is one of the
Yeah.
first things that you tell people, like how this is really going to help them to, you know, the healing
I
part of it?
yeah, so the healing part of them start with that for really a brief, like, few question. It's really listening a lot and asking question, but the one thing that is on your heart, and it could be something really good or could be something really bad or really really sad, like, and let go of that judgment of putting everything in boxes and with label, right? We can have I talk about my adoption. I was so mad when I started and now I'm in peace, you know. But that's one thing that is in your heart and you want just to you, ah, get it
Yeah.
out, get it out, take it out of your body, take it out of your heart, and then you can start the healing and you can write whatever you have to write, but for for growth and for healing and for light. And I do have a
Yes.
lot of people who are asking me to guide them to be in the other side, and I'm not going there. Like, if it's not to grow and to heal, I'm not. I'm not. So,
Wow. That's
and
wonderful.
after doing the one about my adoption, I got to have another one about my ex-husband, and I wrote another book. So every time, different time in your life will be a different book to write for me, you know.
Nice.
As you said, to heal, but this is self-love, this is love, to have that opportunity to love ourselves.
Yes.
It's really, yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I
You're
am
welcome.
hoping that people will connect with you because her website is there in the chat. Odelia Elgart. Is that how you say it?
Elgarat, yeah, it's okay.
Elgarat. Sounds so beautiful in French, the way you say it. Well, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So the handout I gave also was talking about the emotions and transmuting them, writing, like our last speaker, Odelia, was talking about, writing our story in, you know, it has a way of getting out of our physical tissues. So when we say we have three bodies, the emotional body affects the physical body and the spirit body. And asking for a blessing with all that we do is really important. And we have done that, and you can do it again. And then we take something called the sword fingers. That's the peace fingers. You put them together. If you take your sword fingers and point them at the ground and make a large clockwise circle that gets smaller and smaller and smaller with the intention that we're making a vortex, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and the vortex is taking energy into the earth to be recycled and transmuted. So that energy that maybe you're writing or you're train spotting, brain spotting, then you're doing something with the energy, right? This vortex that we create with our imagination, the four keys are intention, attention, imagination, sensation. They are written in the handouts, which I'll send to you if you didn't get them. But the intention as we do this is that we're creating a vortex that goes into the earth that carries the uncomfortable emotions or feelings into the earth out of our physical tissues, because we have so much space in our body that we're born with virtues that are related to the five yin organs or solid organs and their partners that are hollow organs. And like I said, heart and small intestine or liver and gallbladder, those, like the emotion was anxiety for the heart or expectations not met or nervousness for the heart. And that energy can go into the earth to be recycled and transmuted when we have a place for it to go. So we intend it's going into this vortex. If you're below the equator, it is counterclockwise. I usually like to have a straight arm when I do it, but just for this showing you, I'm doing this. So always we ask for a blessing. We make a vortex. In general, when I have clients with their prescription meditations, that is not medication, it's prescription meditations. We start with asking for a blessing and we go to this vortex so that when we do the work, whether it be journaling or doing the doing the exercises of Old Man and Tide Pool or any purgation or releasing, removing, transmuting, like we transmuted the energy when we did the meditation earlier into that, you know, by giving a high powered prayer into that golden orb, we're transmuting the energy of helplessness by the fact that we're donating the energy of our love. And that is making alchemy. There is a law in physics. This law says that you can't just get rid of energy. Releasing has to go somewhere or it has to be changed into something else. Those are the choices. It's not like I release this, la la la, and it's just gone. No, it has to go somewhere intentionally, ideally. Intentional attention, focusing, imagination. I'm imagining it's going into the earth. And then sensation. I really feel lighter. I really feel my inner peace getting expansive and rippling out to the world. So that transmuting, we have a meditation that I'm just going to speak it, and you can do it as I speak it. There are very many variations of this, but just to be quick, let's just focus on the heart for a moment. And we're going to make a exhale of a gray smoke, carrying with it any anxiety, nervousness, expectations not met, going into the earth, okay, getting transmuted. And now we're going to focus on our heart and imagine a fire pit in front of us. As we inhale, joy, tranquility, and order. Okay, and then we can go right over to the spleen on the left side body. And we're going to imagine a gray smoke carrying with it any worry or overthinking right into the earth. And now imagine that you are standing barefoot on a mountain on the earth, and this gold light comes in, carrying with it trust, openness, sincerity. And there are colors, there are sounds, but we're just going to focus on the emotion, right? So then we're going to go right away to the lungs, which is the metal element. And we're going to imagine a gray smoke carrying with it, take a deep breath, any shame, grief, sadness, guilt. Gray smoke goes right into the earth to be transmuted, and it becomes fertilizer. When it's transmuted, it becomes fertilizer for our growth. And now focusing on the lungs, imagine you are by a beautiful cave with metal and minerals, and you inhale courage, integrity, dignity into the lungs. Those are the virtues you were born with. Okay. And now the kidneys, that's the water element. We're going to imagine just a little gray smoke carrying with it fear and loneliness right into the earth. Any fear and loneliness goes right into the earth to be transmuted. And imagine, beautiful waterfall and some ocean bringing in into the kidneys, beautiful self-confidence, inner strength, and wisdom, the virtues you're born with in the kidneys. And then on the right side, liver, my favorite organ, which is paired with the gallbladder. We're going to imagine any anger, frustration, impatience that we have, just a gray smoke carrying with it any anger, frustration, impatient goes into that vortex to be transmuted. And guess what you're born with? Compassion, kindness, and patience, the wood element. Breathe in compassion, kindness, and patience for yourself and others into the right side, the liver. And going back to the heart one last time, inhaling that beautiful joy, tranquility, and order. And I always say at the very end, if you had any cancer in your body, it is not being fed because we starve cancer. So only the cells and tissue that are healthy that we're feeding with any of this. The last part is a rainbow of light coming into your body, inner peace and happiness, and then blow out a rainbow across the planet, a visual, tingly, shiny, happy people on the planet feeling world peace and happiness. And one more time, inhale, rainbow of light through the whole body and inner peace and happiness, and blow that across the planet. And threes are powerful. One more time, inhale, rainbow of color through all your body, and that inner peace and happiness, and blow it across the planet. See that rainbow of light covering the planet, giving inner peace and happiness to all people. And that is a very short, condensed version that so much more complicated to that. And I do offer a course regularly about the 5 UDIG, which is 5 yin organ unity with divine integrative group, because we do interact and do things. But I'm going to go ahead and pause this.
Amba, I am honored and delighted that you invited me to do this. And hello, everybody. It's just been a delight to hear so far what every one of you has had to say. I work with angels and source energy. What I have learned is that we are so much more powerful than we have imagined. That we are, imagine each one of us is ocean. Just imagine right now, each one of us is ocean. And I use the word ocean with a capital O as the archetype ocean. And the ocean, as we know, rolls and foams and roars and lulls and is constantly in cycle, never resting. The ocean is constant and always powerful. And we are that ocean. But you know what? We each think we are a little drop. We each think we are a little drop of water, all alone, sitting somewhere on a windowsill. We do not realize, most of us, that we are the whole ocean. One of the messages that I have been receiving nonstop is, you must call on the angels, because the angels are not capable of, it is in their nature not to initiate action, but to respond to human call. We are angelic. Many of us are hybrid, angels, humans. The angels are all around us and within us, and we must be naming, seeing, and focusing what we want, whether it is for ourselves. We are allowed to want things, power, and circumstances for ourselves, because we are the agents of the divine. We are the agents of source. We're the ones with the hands. We can write letters. We have voices. Each one of us is source energy, because let me ask you, is there anything that is not formed of source energy? No, how can it be? And so we are source energy. We have the authority, and it is our need and source need to roll through everything that can happen. Okay, enough of that. What I'm here to do is to give you a tool to feel that you can trust yourself. You can trust your intuition. So here's what I suggest. Look around your room right now, or if you're somewhere where you can pick something up, I'm picking up my other set of glasses, and know and hold it, because we're going to do a brief exercise in which we find the place within our own ocean that is the place of power, trust, and divine authority. And when I put on these glasses now, from now on for the rest of my life, I'm going to be seeing through that trustworthy source energy place. So usually I ask people to pick up a stone. I don't have a stone near me, so I'm picking up my glasses. We're all primed now to be able to connect with divine energy through all of the wonderful exercises others have been doing. Forgive me, here in California, it's early. I'm not a morning person. This is the first time I've spoken, so I'm all cracky. So, deep breath in, out. Know that your root chakra and your feet, the soles of your feet, are releasing thousands of tendrils into the earth where they are anchored. Mother Earth sends up divine, holy energy into our bodies, into our physical bodies. Our energy bodies fill with the white light of her beauty. Our spiritual bodies rise up, 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 above the ceiling, above the clouds. We rise up through a bank, a circle of golden beings. The golden beings welcome us with a sound. The sound energizes our whole beings from our feet up through our chakras. The sound resonates in our own throats, tingling, rising up through our crown chakras and beyond. We are filled with the golden light. We are part of this winged golden circle. And we rise further still into a tingling, iridescent white light in which we resonate with healing energy flowing in and out as our breath. In and out. And this tingling, iridescent white energy fills us. It fills us with joy, with hope. We feel larger. We can feel our beings expanding. And we take several steps. And as we take these steps, our feet tingle and rise. And right before us is such a beautiful table. And on the table is a piece of parchment. And on the parchment is written a word in bright, radiant gold. And the word is what you hope for yourself. That word is what you have been longing for as a mirror all your life. You can hardly believe it. There it is. You reach your hands toward it. You pick up this word, the energy of what you have been hoping for all your life. It is yours. You bring it into your heart. And now you look around the space and you see there are glowing beings surrounding you, encouraging you. And you say, I know I am here to do great work. But am I up to it? Can I trust myself? And you open your heart filled with that golden gift. And you hear the answer. Am I up to it? How can I trust myself? And you allow the answer to come at you and into you as a gift of great love, flowing into and over you with such great gentleness, such blessing. And it may help you in a way that you had not expected. It is the gift of your own ocean being, the infinity of who you really are, embracing you. And you take this trust. You say, thank you. And you say, how can I thank you? And that may come in the form of a thought, a song, a color, a sound, anything that you hear in response is how you can thank all that is for the great gift of your own self-confidence. And now you allow yourself to step back into the bright, white, iridescent holiness of being. You drop down through the circle of golden winged beings, down through the atmosphere, down into your seat, into your body, still anchored. Go forward with your strong steps, while others fear to put one foot outside what feels safe, because you can. Look toward your world's horizon so that others watching will know there is a possibility to look forward, because you can. Feel what you feel. Show your truth when and where and how it feels necessary, good, or delightful to do so. Because you can. Because you can, and therefore you must. You have taken on this task, and in truth you enjoy it as you should, because you can. Open outward until your need to rest closes your sun-mirroring petals. I see you, child, bent low to the earth. Lift your head and rise up, touch the sky. Look to the saplings of wood, sapling of blood and flesh. See how they rise into the sky and let them lead you up toward your destiny. Whatever it is that you wrote in the journal of memory and heartbeat as you grew in the womb. Let your journey begin now with the lifting of your head, the lifting of your heart. Feel the air around every inch of your skin. Lift your left foot, then your right, then even the soles of your feet to breathe the surrounding hope and encouragement. And then run. Run with your joy. Run into the sunset and then through the star field, naming the stars as you pass each one. Run. Run from Sumer back to the Pleiades. thank you for journeying with me into the field of our own great ocean. The last two things that I said are from my book, Amida in the Pandemic, Received Blessings. I received each of these poems and encouragements from the divine during the pandemic. They came as gifts, and they're available on Amazon. Thank you so much, Amba.
Thank you. And that is her website is lightspeak.com. It is listed there. Leiah Bowden, thank you so much. And this is so powerful right now as we are manifesting world peace through our own inner peace. And especially for those of us, and most of us here today live and watching later, are on a path of helping others and from the place of, you know, being aligned and trusting ourselves. That's really where that energy of inner peace can ripple out. I really appreciate so much. And Megan, you're still here. I wanted to say when she was saying, you know, look, I was like brain spotting looking. However, in my room, sometimes I see other things. And, you know, this whole space, as I was out of my body, I looked and I was like, oh, look who's here. Look who's here. These different beings of light in my room, because I'm not in my room when I'm, you know, traveling like that. And it was so beautiful. And I encourage all of you to connect with Megan and Odelia and all the speakers, Leiah, because such beautiful, wonderful people and so many gifts to share. And thank you so much for coming and speaking. Hi, everyone. It's the third hour of our 8/8/2025 Inner Peace for World Peace Summit. I am so happy and grateful everyone has been here and enjoying this. And these next three women are some of my favorite people on the planet, so wise. And I feel like I want to say they're saving the best for last. However, everyone has been the best. It has been off the chart best ever event, I want to say, because it is true. And such gems and jewels. So I really encourage everyone to watch the replays of these things because they're powerful. They work, helping us get to a state of inner peace, self-love, and rippling that out, creating world peace. Today, I declare with my free will, join me if you feel it, that this inner peace within me is rippling out and helping the world, this energy frequency of love, inner peace, and divine tranquility, this oneness, this unity consciousness rippling out, helping create world peace even more powerfully. I have handouts. If you haven't got them, let me know, that I sent out with my newsletter, actually. And these handouts are a little bit out of order. I will put everyone's contact information I've been adding to the chat as we go, the websites, so you can connect with these wonderful women who are light leaders and way showers, so wise. And with this last bit for myself, I just want to go a little bit further on this honoring our emotions. The sacred part of inner peace and self-love comes from knowing we are sacred. We are uncomfortable emotions and feelings, as we were talking before, you know, getting your whoopee and going to the room and suck your thumb, you know, this is not an undivine moment when we have these feelings that we, you know, grief or sadness or fear, all these that relate to the organ systems in Chinese medicine. These are a sacred part of us. And maybe they're uncomfortable, but they're really a sacred part of us. And honoring them is huge. So I'm asking you now again to ask for a blessing for this practice. and taking our sword fingers and pointing at the earth to make this large clockwise circle. Yes, uncomfortable doesn't mean bad or wrong. I tell my grandson, you know, there are no bad people. There are just sometimes bad behaviors, and they're coming from uncomfortable emotions, but we have learning moments. And this is taking right now a blessing, God blessing, source divine, this practice, that sword fingers pointing at the earth, making a large clockwise circle that gets smaller and smaller and smaller, or if you're below the equator, counterclockwise. And the intention is that this vortex is taking uncomfortable emotions into the earth to be recycled and transmuted. And the earth makes this beautiful fertilizer for our growth as spiritual beings on this planet. And it's our free will to declare, with our free will, we choose no longer to suffer, but to learn valuable lessons with grace and ease. It is a choice. That little I am that I talked about in the beginning, I am, you know, making a commitment to myself being in inner peace and doing the things that takes so that I can ripple that out and help create world peace. I am in control. I am choosing with my free will and declaring it to grow and evolve. And I do give up control to my higher power to and the guardians and angels to guide me, and asking with free will. That's my control. I choose. And then the last one, I am rising to the challenge. Challenges, not problems, not difficult things, but challenges. I am so grateful for the challenges that help me grow and evolve. And I am rising to the challenges, and the challenges in 2025 with different things going on in the world that are often overwhelming, and things in our own lives that can sometimes bring us to a state of not feeling good and yummy and lovely. So again, if you've never worked with me before, this is called Old Man and Tide Pool, which we do in transitions. And I invite you to stand up if you're able to. And if not, you can just watch or do this later. This is very brief. It is a purgation exercise or removing of things, and we will tonify after. So bend your knees slightly. You can't fully see me, my body, but my knees are bent, my hips, if you're able to stand, you can do this seated as best you can as well. Go ahead and inhale your arms out, chest forward, and dive forward. Stick your butt back and dive forward and lean forward and alternate your hands like this as you're bent forward, like you're looking through water, and make the shh sound. Shh. So your hands are like this in front of you on the ground, like you're looking through water. Maybe you can feel your lower back stretching a bit. Then look forward, flat back, bend the knees, and either hinge from your hips with a flat back or roll one vertebra at a time as your hands come out to the side. And then they face up as you inhale. And as if you're holding sparrows in your hands and the thumbs are towards you, you say, ha. And your hands are right here, your elbows are close to the body, and your thumbs go out, and you round your lower back as you say, whoa, like whoa, horsey. A couple more times. Inhale, arms up. Ah, thumbs out. Whoa. Last time. Ah, the HAA sound, thumbs out. Whoa. And now just shake it out. Shake, do the hokey pokey, and you turn yourself around. If you're able to turn, turn one way and then turn the other way. And then do a little dance. Do a little dance. Make a little love. Get down tonight. Yes, I am a singer. And go ahead and sit down and remember that song I wrote. Do you remember the song I wrote? I'm trying to remember. We are family. a global human family. We are a global human family. So yes, peace is the song, and I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it is on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Dr. Amba Tobin, and I am going to go ahead right now and bring in, we released from our heart with that ha sound. We released anxiety, nervousness, expectations not met with that the whoa, W-H-O-A, whoa sound. We released from the liver and the spleen any anger, frustration, impatience, or any worry and overthinking from the spleen. And when we did that shh sound, we were releasing from the lungs any sadness, grief, shame, or guilt. This exercise, Old Man and Tide Pool, has 4 of the 5 organs represented, and the kidney is not, because the kidney is our battery belt, and we don't really ideally want to release too much energy from it because it tends to be deficient or not enough energy at times. So that exercise does not include the kidneys. We'll talk about that another time. But let's just really quick recharge all the organs. Just do a little massage on your heart and bring in some joy, tranquility, and order to the heart. Lips closed. Absorb it like a sponge. Joy, tranquility, and order. Now we're going to go to the left side spleen under the ribs there and inhale. Trust that everything's going to be okay. Trust, openness, sincerity, lips closed. Absorb it like a sponge. Trust, openness, sincerity. Then the lungs, you can like little make birds. Tap your lung 1 and 2 is right around here. And we're going to bring into the lungs courage, integrity, dignity, virtues we were born with. Lips closed, absorb courage, integrity, dignity. And then going down to the kidneys, the water element, we're going to maybe do a little pat on our lower back here. La, 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 la. Can you see my lower back? Okay, so the kidneys back there. Going to inhale into the kidneys, self-confidence, inner strength, and wisdom. And lips closed, absorb. Self-confidence, inner strength, and wisdom. And the right side under the ribs, the liver, yummy liver. Inhaling, compassion, kindness, and patience for yourself and others. Lips closed, absorb compassion, kindness, and patience. Yummy, yummy. And at the heart, let's go back and do it again. Inhale, joy, tranquility, and order. Pink color. Yummy. Lips closed. Exhale. Joy, tranquility, and order. And again, my favorite one, and I always say, if you have cancer, none of your cancer cells are getting any of this lovely energy. And now inhale a rainbow through all the body tissues and cells that are healthy and staying healthy. And this beautiful rainbow, blow it across the planet. And what is it in there? Let's attend, intention, attention, imagination, sensation. Inhale that rainbow of energy, inner peace and happiness, and blow it out. World peace and happiness, covering the planet with this rainbow of light, this juicy, lovely feeling of this world peace. Last time, inhale, rainbow and beautiful inner peace and happiness. See and feel, imagine and intend world peace and happiness. And this is part of the 5 yin organ work that we do. I have a program called 5UDIG that if you want to know more, I'll tell you more. Reach out to me, sitwellness.com/contact. All the information is going to be in the chat as well. And I'm going to introduce, boom, ba-da-doom, talking about angels, Rachel Cooley. Once I start singing, it just can't stop. Okay, here we go.
Welcome, dear ones. I'm so thrilled to be here with you, Amba, and with everyone as we are gathering today on the Lion's Gate to connect with inner peace to bring world peace. I mean, how beautiful is that? It's so beautiful. Yes, we're snapping. I love it, Amba. So, dear ones, I'm here today speaking from my heart. I hope you're, I didn't get my timer out, Amba, but can you time me? Is that cool? Thank you so much. So, yes, I've been working with the angelic realm now. I'm getting a little bit warm. I've been working with the angelic realm now for 25 years. And I have to say, this realm, and I come to it from a very spiritual way, they have helped me. The angelic realm has helped me to have so much peace of mind in this world where we get stressed out and worried. Who can relate to getting worried and stressed out? Especially more so lately. Yes. The angels are magnificent, dear ones, to help us to connect to blessings, light, peace, to lift up stress and fears that are not supporting us, because when we're worried, when we're stressed out, right, we are not at peace. And then when we're not really at peace, we are caught up in ruminations in our minds or not fully present. And then we're not as on our life purpose as we would like to. So that is one of the main reasons why I said yes, yes, yes to being here today with all of you and with Dr. Amba, whether you're live or on the replay, to connect to the blessings and the light of this incredible realm of the angels. So I'm going to be, as a big part of my portion here today, is to connect to, especially on this powerful Lion's Gates, the blessings of the angels. Today, the energies and the portals are really activated as the sun and Sirius are aligned, pouring in extra blessings here to earth and bringing us blessings through peace as well. So what we're going to be doing in just a few moments here, dear ones, is let's call them in so you can experience what it is like, if you haven't already, to connect to the blessings of the angels to bring you more peace and peace of mind. So let's go right into calling in the angels for an angelic experience. So I invite you to join me, amazing women, dear ones. Let's take in a new collective fresh breath in, gently exhaling out as we land and strongly present here on this beautiful and potent day, feeling yourself fully supported on the surface where you're seated, feeling your feet upon the floor. And let's take in a powerful new divine breath in. Exhaling out as we pray in. We thank you so much, dear God. We thank you, dear divine angels, archangels, our divine guides, to be strongly present with each and every one of us right here, right now. We invite you, dear angels, on this potent and powerful Lion's Gate day to unfold and to envelop each one of us in your magnificent energies and light. So as we breathe in and out, dear ones, feeling connected, feeling grounded, we invite the white light of our guardian angels to unfold and to envelop each one of us right here, right now, body, mind, and spirit. As we breathe in and out, and their wings of light, their white light is enveloping and surrounding us, dear ones. If you like giving yourself an angelic hug as they embrace you and they embrace us with their incredible energies and light, supporting us in tapping into the energy, the peace that is here for us. And as we take in a new divine breath in and exhale out, we also call in our archangels, and we're going to invite them to lift up any energies that are not feeling peaceful so we can tap into inner peace. So taking in a new divine breath in, gently exhaling out as we invite in Archangel Michael, our powerful archangel protection, to join us, enveloping us in your royal blue and purple lights. Thank you, Archangel Michael, along with Raphael, our dear archangel of healing, enfolding us in his emerald green lights. And as we continue to breathe in and out, dear ones, I invite you to breathe in the light, the love, and the blessings that our guardian angels, Michael and Raphael. I'm feeling Ariel joining us also, our lioness of God, powerful archangel of abundance. Breathing in their energies and their lights, and let's exhale out. Exhale out any worry or concern that may be on your mind. If you'd like, as you exhale out, you can also literally, with the hand that you write with, hand it over. So taking in a new divine breath in, and let's try the handing over one as well. Breathing in, and as you exhale out that worry or that concern, imagine it the hand that you write with, and let's lift it up and exhale it out. You can say, thank you, angels, for taking this from me, lifting it up from me, or the situation, gently bringing your hand down. As we take in a new divine breath in, exhaling out, and let's do 2 more releases. Breathing in, the blessings and the light with the angels, the energy of peace, And let's tap into what we are handing over, whether it's something we've already have handed over or exhaled out, or something new, whichever one has more charge for you. Let's take in a new divine breath in and exhale out, and let's exhale out and lift it up to our dear angels, to archangels, Michael, Raphael, Ariel. Taking in a new divine breath in as we take in another breath in, noticing how you're feeling as we invite our angels to unfold us in the energy of peace, light, love, and blessings. The energy and the knowing that we're not alone, that we are held, loved, protected, and divinely guided, uplifted. The angels want us to have more inner peace, dear ones, so that we can be more on purpose and make the divine impact in the world and impacts in the world that we are meant to make. So let's do one more lifting up of a worry or concern or any fear energy that may be around on any level, even from the collective, taking a new divine breath in, exhaling out, and let's exhale it out and lift it up to our angels with an extra exhale. Thank you, angels. Thank you, archangels, for lifting all these energies up and away from each one of us, transmuting all these energies up to God, up to the light, for cleansing, for purification, for transmutation. And as we take a collective new divine breath in and exhale out, we invite Raphael to beam his emerald green healing lights to envelop and to surround us, to beam in extra emerald green healing lights into our hearts, to our minds. We invite Ariel, our archangel, tuned into abundance and blessings and courage for us powerful women, to unfold us in her beautiful pink energies and light. And we thank you, Archangel Michael, for adding in your royal blue and purple lights to envelop and to surround us, sealing in this powerful peace practice here with the angelic realm on this potent and powerful day, as Sirius and the sun are aligned, bringing extra blessings and peace and balance here to earth. And we are so grateful. So it all is, with a new breath in, exhaling out. If you'd like to say out loud, thank you, angels. Thank you, archangels. I am so grateful. And so it all is. Amen and blessed be. So it's potent and powerful, dear ones, to call upon the angels. It's really important that we do so because we are giving them permission to help us, because they respect our free will. So I invite you to bring this practice into your life, to receive these incredible blessings, and know that I'm here to support you with the angels. If you'd like to reach out, Amba is sharing my website, or she has on the website, and she should get you that information. I'm also on Facebook if you'd like to find me, Rachel Cooley. And it is my joy and honor to be here as part of this beautiful event, Amba, that you have created to bring inner peace, to create world peace. Such a joy.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I have to say, you mentioned so with medical qigong and with our Wu Song practice, which is
Yes.
something we do before healing, is we bring from our heart intention, a red phoenix, which is also Archangel Michael, and from the back we have from our kidneys a black energy, black light that goes. It's a black turtle snake in Taoism, and it's Archangel Gabriel. So Gabriel, it was here for me too. And then Ariel and Raphael as well, all represent intention, attention, imagination, sensation. And Gabriel is attention, focusing, which is so huge for world peace, is that we focus our attention on what we would like to bring about, which is right now inner peace for world peace. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you being here. Thank you.
Yes, so welcome to this talk, and the title is Empowerment Through Challenges. And I wanted to share this book with you, Molecules of Emotion by Candace Pert. It's the science behind mind-body medicine. And she wrote this book in 1997, and I fell in love with it then. She was a nominated for a Lasker Award, as well as a Nobel Prize, for the research that she did on opiate receptors in the body and neuropeptides as well. And she used to be a researcher in the Department of Physiology and Biophysics at Georgetown University. And you may have seen her, if you saw the film, What the Bleep Do We Know? That was in 2004. Do you remember that? Like 2 decades ago. I loved the film. She was one of the many physicists and scientists who were in that film. And if you see that film now, I watched it again last night because I wanted to talk about it today. And there was the very, very, very young Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza. If any of you are fans of his, you might want to go back and watch it again. I highly recommend it. Anyway, yeah, so even more fascinating than I remember from 21 years ago, which surprised me. But anyway, what is the film and the book about? It is about how our emotions generate chemicals in our body that are sometimes known as hormones, and these impact our health. So what our feelings are having, that it impacts our health, and our thoughts are impacting our feelings. So if you're telling yourself a story that's hard, then you might have more challenges with your health. So anyway, as I was looking through the book last night, I ran across this quote from Candace Pert, and it just seems so appropriate for this group of women who are creating peace here. She says to me, or she says in the book, "Don't get me wrong. I like men, but in their place, which is the bedroom. Let them out and they start wars." So we are women creating peace. And I love that quote from her. And that was back in like 1997 or earlier. Anyway, my name is Terri Moon, and I empower women who have autoimmune diseases or chronic illness to heal from the inside out, have more energy, improve digestion, and think more clearly. So shifting our thinking is one of the ways that we can restore health and well-being in our body, sometimes even instantaneously. It's amazing to me. But here are some of the common beliefs and fears that I've run across over the last 40 years of doing this reprogramming at the cellular level. And so I'd like for you to imagine what your life would be like, your day-to-day life experiences, if these subconscious beliefs were dictating your experience. Just for the sake of time, I'm just going to talk about this one, which is really a few kind of collapsed together, but my soul fears embodiment. That means like living and inhabiting your body. That embodiment means separation, and separation equals death. And or being in a human form means being separate from God. All of those kind of are different versions that I've worked with different people to release. And when you're having this experience, you don't want to be fully in your body. You feel alone, right? You're not sure who you are or who God is or how the two fit together at all, and you're feeling disconnected or not, maybe not blessed, right? So what kind of sensations or feelings do you think you'd have in your body if this was your belief? You might experience being at war internally, right? Some kind of conflict going on inside yourself. And would this support your health and well-being? I don't think so. So what I believe is that safety is critical to healing, and that transforming these beliefs and fears is really essential to the healing process. So I'm going to give you an example. For example, if you feel anxious, what sort of things might you be telling yourself? Usually, in my experience, people who are anxious frequently are telling themselves some fear about what might happen in the future. And I'm wondering if you could look at what's underneath that fear, or experience what's underneath that fear, explore and get curious about it, and see, could this be a gift? This anxiety, could it be a gift that the body is trying to get our attention with? Like maybe a request to live more in the present moment where things are okay? I believe so. And this is just one option. There are as many options as there are individual experiences, right? But my point is that our emotions are gifts. They are our humanity. I think we're going to lose our humanity unless we embrace them. We spend so much time kind of stuffing them and numbing them and trying to outrun them. but they really are gifts. And if we listen to them, we can actually use them as an internal GPS system that helps us navigate through our lives and tells us turn right or go left. This is like it to help us find satisfaction, joy, fulfillment, and happiness in life. So how would it be to embrace these feelings and learn from them instead of running away from them? Do you think that might create more peace, more health in our lives? I think so. It's certainly been my experience. And, you know, for somebody else, maybe anxiety could be a single signal from the body that our hormones are out of balance, because you have more different chemicals in there that feel more anxious when you have this. Either way, the information is very valuable, and it allows us more choice in our lives about our experiences instead of being controlled by our emotions. And I find that this is really empowering, and so do my clients. So over the last 40 years, I've healed 6 different autoimmune diseases naturally. And one example is that I had a freckle that was surrounded by red, and a friend of mine had just had a similar experience. And she said, mine turned out to be melanoma. And so that was a little bit scary. That's like a very fast growing skin cancer. And so I went and had it biopsied. And what did the doctors tell me? They said, oh, it's not melanoma. No, it's your own body eating your own freckle away. They didn't acknowledge that that was unusual or strange. They didn't offer me any support for changing it or say anything what I might do to reclaim my health. And it's interesting. Yeah, so I was left on my own to deal with this and try to figure out what my body is reacting this way. And what I'm excited about is that over the last 5 years, the pandemic and all that has really provided so much more new information about the immune system and how the body works in that way. And so there's all this cutting edge science and research that's available to us, even more than what we had learned in decades before, even through the AIDS crisis, right, which was also about autoimmunity. So anyway, my experience regarding Western medicine is that, and this is true for my clients as well, is that 80% of autoimmune diseases are in women, and that that might have something to do with the fact that when we go to the doctor and they say all the tests are normal, then they tell us it's all in our heads, which is kind of crazy making. And sometimes our friends and family don't even understand how hard it can be just to get through one day, which it can be when you have issues like these, health challenges like these. So I want to remind you of the expression, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And those of us with autoimmune concerns and chronic illness, whether it's for 3 months or 30 years, are very strong indeed. And I think this adversity that we've experienced through life and through our health challenges actually has made us stronger. And that it also has made us determined despite the challenges. And so in times of war, like we're in today, the strength and determination can support our survival. And yet I would like to see all these women not just survive, and everybody else for that matter, but truly thrive. And I think that comes from reclaiming our humanity, standing in our own power, owning that, and owning our feelings and allowing them to guide us by listening to our bodies. So I put on this summit last year in November called Heal Autoimmune Diseases Naturally. And 1,000 people showed up for it. It was just really wonderful. And what I learned at that summit is that once you have one autoimmune disease diagnosis, you're to expect another one every 5 to 10 years after that. Now, that's not a very happy thing to learn about, but I'll tell you what, this year in November, we're going to do summit version Heal Autoimmune Diseases Naturally 2.0. And I hope we have even more than 1,000 people showing up this time. But last year we had 18 different healthcare providers sharing both their personal and professional experience over 3 different days, because most of the people who do this professionally have had these experiences personally as well. Anyway, the summit can change lives and provide direction and inspire hope. And rather than having it pre-recorded like last year, we're going to do it live, which I'm really excited about because it will also build community. So if anything I shared resonated and you want to explore your emotions or transform your beliefs or your fears, I want to invite you to join me at one of my drop-in groups, which I have twice a month on the third Tuesday from 5 to 6:30 and on the fourth Sunday from 9 to 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. And I offer these groups by donation to make it easy for everyone to join us. No experience necessary. I'll show you all you need to know to learn to turn your inner critics into allies and to uncover your core beliefs and fears. And you're welcome whether you feel anxious or sad or celebratory or any other emotion that you have. So it's a judgment-free zone, and it creates the safety that is so critical to healing. So in summary, I want to say today I spoke of ways that our thoughts create emotions and how these emotions shift the hormones and chemicals in our bodies, creating painful emotions or disease in the process. I shared about a book and a film where you can learn more about the science behind how thoughts can impact our health and well-being. And I've also shared examples and details of emotions or as well as tools that you can use to make changes at the cellular level. And finally, I
Yay.
invited you to join me at one of my drop-in groups. So in closing,
Yay.
I want to emphasize that healing happens naturally when we create safety. And this safety may happen in our environment through detoxification or in our families and communities by letting go of judgment.
And you can learn this all on her website, right? terrimoon.com.
And
All of this
also
and
my new
more.
website is educateandempower.com too.
Oh, good,
So
good.
yeah, and then most importantly, safety is created when we shift our inner thoughts and beliefs and fears, and creating safety within by getting curious about our thoughts and the gifts that they're pointing our attention to allows our feelings to become that internal GPS system that helps us navigate toward health, happiness, satisfaction, fulfillment, and joy.
100%, 100%. This woman is a wealth of knowledge. Please reach out to Terri Moon, go to her groups, run, don't walk. I love her so much, and we need to go on a walk. We have not been on a walk for a while. So I love you. Thank you for being here. There you go.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I love the work that you do, and also very familiar with Terri and Rachel's work as well. So it's very exciting to see you both here. So I don't know that I'm going to chat exactly about what the topic is, but it is going to connect and relate to peace. And, you know, in the work that I do, I've been a publicist for 30 plus years, and have really helped executives speak their truth, their voice, get aligned with their brand and so forth. And now I've been doing that with women, right? To kind of get their voice heard, whether it's on a major stage like TED or a smaller stage, right? Or, you know, maybe it's a Substack account where you're expressing your voice. So that's kind of really, it's come full circle where I've done a lot of the executive coaching work, and now I'm bringing it into more of a spiritual realm. So Lionsgate is very relevant, you know, for those in the spiritual community. People think about it as, you know, the veil is thinner, right? During Lionsgate. But is that really the case? Or is that something that we created as a perception? Because everything really is a perception. And I'm going to talk about how that relates to some of the topics that actually Terri and Rachel and even Dr. Amba brought up today. So it's going to kind of segue very nicely, right? So if we're creating these perceptions, whether it's that the veil is thinner on Lionsgate, or that there's fear and divisiveness in the world and things are crumbling around us, that's really what we're giving more attention to, right? And the more attention we give something, the more it grows. Fear grows, right? If we plug into fear, it's going to grow. So this can really be, or, the same thing with Lionsgate or gods and goddesses that we paid attention to and revered over the years, and some we haven't. And the less attention and validity that we give to something, the more it shrinks or eventually dies off altogether, right? We don't worship the goddess Isis like we did 3,000 years ago when it was a time of, reverence to the goddess religion. So whether it's an idea, a product, a relationship, anything in life, really, if we don't give attention to, it shrinks. So as human beings, we are always co-creating our own realities in every single moment. We're co-creators. We're manifestor beings. We focus on fear, we bring in more fear. We focus on divisiveness, we bring in more divisiveness. We focus on war, we bring in more war. So what does this all mean and how does it relate to peace, right? Well, let's think about that, right? Because when we think about peace in the world, we think a lot of the times about external peace, right? If only women were ruling the planet, there would be no war. Probably true, probably true. But when we're focusing out there, we miss the internal work, right? So across spiritual traditions, we learn from the masters that peace is a state of being, a state of mind, that it lies within, right? Be the change that we wish to be in the world, starting with ourselves, right? Buddha said, peace comes within, do not seek it without. Well, Waldo or Emerson said, nothing can bring you peace but yourself. Joseph Wirthlin said, you can find peace amidst the storms that threaten you. And peace is a journey. Albert Einstein said, peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. And I absolutely love this one by River Phoenix. Run to the rescue with love and peace will follow. And it just really makes me think of the divine feminine, right? That's what we do. We lead with love, we lead with peace. But it begs the question, right? When you feel that peace is unraveling out there, you feel that things are uncertain, then it's time to go and hear to our heart, to open our hearts without fear. And I would add to that, there's been some beautiful examples today that Rachel gave us earlier about bringing the angels in, right? Bring your guides in, whatever that means for you. Ask your higher self to come in. These are really best practices to kind of go to our heart. We want to be in that stillness place. So I'm going to talk just a little bit about stillness and the importance of stillness. When we get into that beta theta wave state, everything just slows down, right? That's why, the power of breath work, the power of the exercises that Dr. Amba led us through at the beginning, right? It's slowing everything down and getting us to a place of heart coherence, right? Heart math has really led the way with that. And when we get still and we quiet the mind and we relax and breathe into the void of nothingness, this emptiness of that still vortex, that's when our higher self can speak to us. When we're in our mind place and, the busy monkey mind, we can't get to that internal peace space. It's just impossible. And peace doesn't start out there, it starts in here. So, we have this opportunity with that realization is that when we just sit and we just observe. There's no judgment. We just go inward. We don't judge. We don't turn to fear. We don't second guess ourselves, which has been, an age-old issue, particularly with women. We second guess ourselves. No, we just be. No judgment, no fear. And during this practice, we can also imagine the other as ourself. Imagine the other in our own divinity. When we see the divinity in another, we see the divinity in ourselves, right? We've heard that self-love, it starts here. So it's just a really good practice when we're sitting in that meditation moment. We're bathing ourselves in self-love. We're embracing ourselves in this self-love, but we're also imagining and connecting with another, right? Because everything is interconnected. Energy knows no boundaries, right? That's why remote healing works. This is why group gatherings focused on peace work, right? Lynn McTaggart's work with the power of 8. This demonstrates this, as does the research work at HeartMath, right? When we're in the collective consciousness of peacemaking, if you like, right? Starting with ourselves, we get into this coherent state of mind. It's a coherent state of heart. This is when healing can take place. Alignment takes place. Energetically, we are in sync when this happens. We are in the zone, right? Or as Esther and Jerry Hicks used to call it, the vortex, right? Dr. Shamini Jain calls it the biofield. Whatever that is for you, we're in alignment, right? And so the other thing I really love to add to this exercise is the imagining that the masculine and feminine within us is in balance. When we're in balance with our masculine and feminine, then we know source, we know God, whatever that is for us, we know like pure divinity. And in that moment, right, we're not making another side or view wrong, whether it's politically or socially or economically. Even if we have a zillion facts and reasons why that might be the case, we're not going to this judgment. We simply call in love. We amplify that energy of love, that connection, that cohesiveness. And when we do that, this not only gives people permission to do the same, because we've been vulnerable in that moment. And when we're vulnerable, it gives people permission to also be vulnerable. But what happens in that stillness is that our innate wisdom takes over, right? And then our nervous system can relax. It's not in fight or flight. It's not plugging into the feared grid, or what I like to call the distraction grid. As someone who's been a publicist for 30 years, I've never seen more distractions out there than we're currently seeing, right? And so it's up to us as co-creator beings not to plug into that. Even if it feels like peace is not in our grasp, it is in our grasp when we find that inner peace within, because the amplification that's happening right now is pretty profound. And it looks like I'm running out of time. So I will just close with the very vital piece of this, that this is an individual practice, but it's also a collective one. And so I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the importance of community, which is a very big part of our teaching, and it's why we are all here today. And so chances are you're part of many tribes, right? And this is, the speakers here today, this is one of our tribes. But this is the point when we're feeling like we're sinking, or we're feeling like things are just unraveling around us. We plug into this love community, is what I'll call it, right? And then in this place of support from community, chaos, divisiveness, and distraction, they don't have a chance of being the winning lottery tickets, right? They can't, because the energy, the collective consciousness energy, is doing something about it, right? And so in pockets around the world, there's gatherings just like this one. They're meditating on peace, they're praying for peace, they're sending out intentions. And, that would just be my last, word of, sitting in the stillness is the meditative practice, the going within, trusting your own innate wisdom, surrendering to that, and then, of course, plugging into community, which, is one of the pillars of Buddhism, actually, which is not our primary teachings, but there's so many overlapping teachings when it comes to innate universal truths like this. So anyway, with that, yeah, I know I'm running a little bit over here.
You,
I see it
oh,
11 minutes.
it's fine. It's fine. I wanted to just say one thing you just mentioned about, yes, everyone all over the world is doing things towards creating world peace, meditations and things. And that you said, like, Buddhism isn't, mostly what you are working through with your work with your husband, Anthony, who channels Mary Magdalene, and um uh like the other name for Jesus, you
Yeshua.
say Yeshua.
Yeshua, the ascended master.
And Yeah, and however, this is the thing I really want the community to know. We are part of Women Saving the World. This is what this community is: women saving the world. Men are welcome. I love the quote Terri said about men in the bedroom, they belong. When they come out, they create war. And so up until now, magic words I include here right now for everyone. Up until now, or even though in the past men have created war, up until now, um, we still want peace. We still desire, and I prefer the word desire peace, or desire rather than want. And Renee, can you let us know what is one thing about ego? That's the you mentioned, we're connecting with our higher self, however you call that. And, in that stillness, that's where we get the peace. And no matter what someone calls their higher power, um, it is all the same love and energy. With ego, can you just say really quick, um, your definition of ego? We talk about ego death a lot in our work too. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I would say a big core part of our teachings, which is very Gnostic in nature, is not that the ego is the enemy, actually, that we can't really fight the ego, and nor should we try to boot it to the curb. We merely need to integrate it, incorporate it, and ebb and flow with it, because the ego has a purpose. It has a purpose. It brings us here to have the courage and the strength to stand up and have the self-esteem that we need, particularly as women, to speak our truth when we're feeling trodden on. So I would argue the ego isn't something to destroy, it's something to ebb, flow, dance, and really flow with. We want to, just like a Qigong master, right? We're flowing with energy. The ego is just energy. You could say it's a little further away from the light. You could say that.
yes,
But
we're
there's no,
humans.
yeah, there's no, so I think it's like it's learning how to dance with it.
Yeah. And I think this is important. Dance as well. I say yes, peace rather than no war or anti-war. Yes, peace, walk, dance, and sing on the 19th of every month, wherever you are at noon, your time. Walk, dance, and sing for peace. And the other thing you just mentioned, which I wanted to bring up before, is that, sometimes that, you know, darkness or whatever it is also sacred, and it's energy, and we can gobble that energy up and intentionally transmute it when there are, if you want to think about ego deaths are like the things that aren't the greatest about the ego that we can honor because it's sacred, right? We were talking about that. And take it and digest it and transmute it into positive and transmute it into the good. And those who have fear around any kind of uh, things that are darker in the world, you can always use that power of divinity within yourself and take it and transmute it. And I'm just going to end with this. I'm going to remove your spotlight, my friend, so you can type away your information, anything else you need. However, in my spiritual practices as a doctor of medical Qigong, I also do something that is to do with exorcism. And it's not just exorcism of darker beings, but it's exorcism of the uncomfortable emotions. Because when you're too angry or too sad or beyond a normal level of depression, this is no longer yourself, right? Who are you then? When we go beyond grief into this depression, or beyond anger into a really heavy energy, we're no longer in alignment with our higher self. We've got a minor possession. So these emotions, we do these healing things, the healing sounds. However, also different things that are negative in the world, we may take it, if it's affecting us, and take that energy as energy alone anything I teach with clients is that we have power. Ask the guardian angels to help us, our divine higher self, help us, God, source, however you call it, help us. And there is nothing to fear because everything is for our highest good, always. Every challenge is a gift to grow and evolve. And these things that may seem dark, we can take the energy, it's just energy, and with divine light, declare with our free will, we're transmuting it and use that energy. Um, I will go on about this another time. We are out of time, a little bit over. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and you'll get the replays. I'm Dr. Amba. Namaste, everyone. Send that love and peace out around you. And remember, we always have a choice. Thank you. Namaste.